So I had 2 of these 2x6 boards, and I was thinking, what can I make with these? And I've never made a bookshelf before, and like with most of my projects, it will be the first time. So here we go. I just marked off 4 feet on the board, using my square to make a straight line. I am not using any type of plans for making this bookshelf. Now for the fun and exciting part, using my DeWalt table saw that I bought to cut the 2 boards. I have always used my circular saw from Black & Decker to do the cutting of these boards, but now I have moved on up to a table saw. The piece is too long to use the guide on the table saw, so I'm just guiding it in myself. Now to cut the second board. I am new to using this table saw, so I'm not perfect, but you gotta start somewhere. So for those negative people out there that wanna make comments, you gotta look at this and be positive. I'm gonna make something pretty cool. I forgot to remove the miter gauge, as you could see in the previous cut, and that's why it didn't go completely through, but we just flip it over and finish it. Not a big deal. And would you just look at that? Just look at that. I got my boards cut. I am measuring to put some holes in these boards, which are going to be the frame of our bookshelf. With the remaining pieces, after cutting the 2 4-foot pieces from the 2x6s, I will be making and cutting shelves. OMG, this is so much easier than using a circular saw. I also love that this DeWalt table saw has the anti-kickback for my safety. Now that the boards are shorter, I can use the ripping fence as my guide for a perfect cut. When I take the miter gauge off of the table saw, when I put it away, I always put it back on, and then when I go to use it, I forget to take it off. Screwing the boards together that make the frame of our bookshelf. So as I'm framing this bookshelf, I'm thinking to myself, how do I want the shelves to look? So this is my idea I came up with. Now that I have framed the bookshelf, I'm going to make some holes so that we can screw in our floating type bookshelves. Drill her in. We will continue this process until we have all of the shelves screwed in. I am going ahead and putting the bookshelf together because I want to see what it's going to look like, but I will take it apart to stain it. Gotta love slow-mo. A lot of people don't like the knot holes in the wood, but I do, and this one here looks like a sunburst, and that's going to be on the front side of our bookshelf. I am going to be sanding all the boards in preparation for staining. Just writing a little note on the board, which side is going to be the back, so that I will have the correct sides facing the front. I will be staining the actual shelves on this bookshelf black. I will now be distressing the boards that I stained. I am now distressing the boards for our frame or structural skeleton of the bookshelf. These boards I had stained an aged beryl gray. The contrast of the black and gray boards is going to give this bookshelf a unique look. Here is one of these semi-floating black shelves. I had already drilled the holes previously, as you saw, so now it's going to be easy to just put it all back together. I am using these 2.5-inch wood screws. Drilled the screw through so I could see it, and then just attached it to the hole in the floating shelf, and then just drill her all the way through. Previously, I had only drilled one hole, so I had to make another one. Now changing the bit so I can screw in the second screw for this floating shelf. This is what we have so far. It has come a long way. Those floating shelves will not be hanging like you see here because I will be placing a stabilizing board on the back side to attach to those shelves. So in order to have a stabilizing board, I have to make some notches in certain boards here on the bookshelf where the stabilizing board is going to go. Using my jigsaw to cut the portion of the board that I need removed so that I will have that stabilizing board placed flush against it. It just needs a little help to come off, so we'll use the hammer, and look at that. Now I will attach the floating shelf back to the rest of the bookshelf. The vertical stabilizing boards have been attached to the floating shelves. I wanted to see what they would look like. They look great, but now I have to take them off to stain them, so that is what I'm doing. The most challenging part of this project is making the cutouts on those floating shelves where the cutout is in between the two ends of the shelf. I did one shelf, as you saw previously, using my jigsaw, and then the second time I tried to do something easier by using my drill press. Remember, I am new to making these things, so I'm just figuring it out in my head as to what I think will work. I'm not perfect, it's not going to come out perfect, but you will see the finished product's going to look pretty darn good. So as you can see here, I am using my drill press to make holes at each end of where I need the cut to be. That way I can place my jigsaw in between there and make the cut much easier. See, now I can get my jigsaw in there and just saw straight across. Almost there. So I'm going to put a shelf that's going to go from the top all the way down to the bottom so that it can attach to these floating shelves here so it'll be secure. I made this project a little more challenging for myself because again, I'm just kind of figuring this stuff out as I go. But I did measure, as you can see, you like my pointer here, my little handle of my badminton rack. From here to here is 9 inches. So I'm taking and measuring from here on here, wherever 9 inches is, I have it marked. And I'm going to take, and then from on this one, since it's on this side, it would be from here to here. I need 3.5 inches because 3.5 inches is from here to where this little indentation starts. And anyway, so I'm going to cut with my jigsaw these parts out so that I can put this piece of black stained board there so I can secure those shelves to it. So there's that. using my hammer to break it loose. Nice clean cut. I had to put the shelf in the vise to make the cutout on this piece. I didn't have it cut quite all the way through, so here we go. It's cut out now. I have my level on the shelf to make sure that it is indeed level before I secure it to the frame of our bookshelf. I am so excited. This is what it looks like so far. Now to see our imperfectly perfect bookshelf I made staged. I just love it. I'm proud of myself, and my point to you is you can make things even though you're not a professional. It may not be perfect, but it will be imperfectly perfect. Hot stuff.